It's actually been wonderful to see how much joy this has brought Ed Campbell.
It's the funniest thing in the world.
So, there has been a suspected honey trap scandal targeting Westminster. A senior Labour MP, an ex-MP, 4 party staffers and a political journalist and a serving government minister are amongst 12 men known to have been targeted by people calling themselves Abby and Charlie. Charlie, I think, was also Charlotte. And in these targeted attacks, they called for pictures of the men's penises. They said things like, "Hey, I met you in the Woolsack the other day," which is the name for the sports bar in Parliament. Or, "Hey, great seeing you at that event last night. So we didn't get to chat more. Can I see your penis?"
About bloody time!
Yeah. And apparently, this probably lends itself to the next topic that we're going to do as well, which is about men's mental health. But
is that a really negative effect?
they go, "Well, someone I don't know from a phone number I've never seen before has asked to see my penis, so I must show them."
It's people they're so thick. There's so many like nice details about like the number in question so they're targeting straight MPs and gay MPs, and to facilitate this, I think the smarter thing to do if you're listening, you should have used 2 numbers and had like one for each gender, because their WhatsApp photo was a man and a woman. So they didn't have to change.
So lazy.
It's lazy. It's bad. They could have got way more if they'd been more. But it's also this is a political story as well. Political interviewed like an expert in, I don't know, sending nudes. I don't know what qualifies as an expert in this story.
I was the expert.
But they said it's remarkable how unsophisticated this was.
Yeah.
So like you would imagine receiving a text. And it says, "Hi Ed, great seeing you it's Charlie. Great meeting you at the trade union conference last year. I'm single now. How are you?" Oh. The trade. I have no recollection of that woman, but I am sure that I must have been charming and flirty. So I'm gonna next week. Oh, phenomenal news. A photo of her breast. Oh. It is time. It is time to show this stranger a photo of my willy. She will surely fall in love with me. Why don't I call her to ask? She's not answering. Oh, I better send it anyway. It's me. I'm a cabinet minister. Oh no, I'm running late for cabinet. Sorry I'm late, chaps. If you've fallen for this, like there's so much, people are like, "Oh, there's a targeted security attack on Westminster." If you fall for this, you're stupid. You're thick. You're like, this is like the kind of thing you're talking like PSE at school to avoid being like, don't send photos of your penis to strangers on the internet.
Well, now we know what's been going on in Nicola Sturgeon's Scotland. Have you been having lessons to not send...
Like internet safety lessons at school. Did you get that?
No, I didn't know.
I'm sure it was like, don't talk to strangers online.
I do remember one PSHE lesson where it was a Catholic school, so you didn't really learn much about sex ed, but did a little bit of sex ed. And I do remember one where we learned not to get into the Thames because it'll kill you.
Slightly different. I don't know how that pertains to this. 2 good pieces of advice. Don't, like, I suppose in the age of like dating apps and Grindr stuff, you can't just be like, well, if you're going to send photos of your penis to someone, make sure that person is real and not a potential like Russian spy.
No, wait, can we bring up the best bit?
What's the best bit?
My favourite line of it was that one of the men who was targeted by the Chinese state was like, "Oh, can I meet up with you tonight in a pub?" And she said yes. And then he went to the pub and sat there and she just didn't show up. You could not torture that information out of me.
No. Imagine like, we've got like stories about friends who've been catfished or like quite embarrassing things.
Yeah.
Imagine where people were talking about it as if it's like state secret. As if like, imagine you're one of these people and people are like talking about this like this. It would be the most mortifying thing. It's so stupid. Are people too horny to be in cabinet?
Is that the question you've got for me? Are people too horny?
If you're doing this and you don't work out, like, actually the cabinet minister, I think might not have fallen for it, to be fair to them, but say they did. If you're a cabinet minister or you work in like a secure environment where you have access to things that people might be interested in, what your MP's saying about whatever, it could be like corporate espionage or like actual espionage or whatever. Would you not recognise that like it's the thought of being so horny that all of those thoughts just go out the window, or just being like, well, okay, I am sexually a magnet to this beautiful stranger whose name I don't know, have any photos of bar this random nude.
Yeah, photo of her rack. Oh, I'd know that rack anywhere.
Oh, we did meet.
Yeah. No, it's an incredible story. Can you imagine, which I think is what you were just saying?
Yes.
That one of your friends sits down with you and tries to explain that they've been stood up and blames it on Chinese espionage. But also, I think to kind of understand, to sort of understand why some of the senior MPs wouldn't have been that confused by just, tits in their DMs. Like, Westminster is a really horny place.
Yes.
People are just getting it in all the time, and if they're not getting it in, they're thinking about how to get it in.
The stories I know from someone who doesn't work in Westminster, extraordinary.
Yeah.
It doesn't stay in Westminster, fellas. We all know.
Yeah. There's, yes, well, they'd like to keep it in Westminster.
Yes, but it doesn't because people gossip.
Anyway, so they're talking about it all the time. Sex is on the brain, especially conference season. Conference is a mess. All it is just, you think
just
people
nerds.
are doing policy? No.
They're
getting peen.
Penisy.
Yeah.
It's just like 18-year-olds who've never met a girl before finally getting a whiff. A whiff of fanny.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, the girl... They end up chained to a travel lodge. I was trying to say Premier Inn, but I kept saying travel lodge radiator, being choked out by a policy wonk.
The grossest people you'll know. That's not fair. Let me do that again. The most sexless looking people you know will go to conference and have sex with 10 different women.
Yeah.
And it'll be because they're like senior advisor to so-and-so.
To an MP you've literally never heard of.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that is why when someone sends an MP their tits, that MP thinks, well...
It's another Tuesday for me. It's probably just one of like, they probably sent, all the people involved in this probably sent so many dick pics like that day. They were like, oh, which one was this? Oh, that one was fake. Oh, well, the 9 others were real. And then they've got photos of my peen.
So they got their peens out.
They got their peens out, and 4 cybersecurity experts have confirmed the messages appear to be a targeted attack. Yeah, that's obvious. Yeah, they're getting MPs' numbers and trying to get dick pics off them so they can blackmail them for state secrets, which is quite sick.
Ready?
Right.
When the former MP asked again who they were, the sender gave a surname and also the name of an MP they claimed to work for. They sent, now you know I'm not just a random popping up to compliment your ass.
Not normal flirting. That's a normal thing to say. That's a normal text to receive. I feel like I'm complimenting. Oh, I do have a nice bottom.
You do look good. What would you do if you
What, this is me?
if you got a text?
You look good. Send back the most explicit video you can imagine.
Yeah.
squat over the camera.
The Joe mic over just covering you.
Tasteful. My friend at uni, my friend was in production of, you know, Equus?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, so like about a troubled boy who blinds horses or something. I actually didn't see this play.
Oh, I thought you meant the think tank.
No, the play.
Okay, carry on.
I
don't know that, but carry on.
But there's Daniel Radcliffe was in it on Broadway. I think it was his first big like post Harry Potter thing because I want to get away from Harry Potter. So he performed naked on Broadway for like 3 months.
I do remember this. Yeah.
Yeah. So like there's a scene where he has to be naked, and my friend played whatever the character that is naked.
He played his penis
at uni, and he said like he was thinking about how it's like obviously like fucking 18 or 19. So this man is not a professional actor at this point. He should be. He's very good. But just being like, it's very funny being like, for the sake of student theatre, I'll be naked on stage. And he said he was very conscious of it not being like calendar girls, of being like, he didn't want to be like the whole time. So if people saw Peen. And then a few years later, I introduced him to one of my friends. And my friend was like, I think we've met before. And they were like trying to like brainstorm like, were you at this party? And then she was like, oh my God, I saw Equus. Which is the worst way to meet someone.
Oh yeah, because his face was in it too. I was so
He was wearing a mask.
She's just like
wearing mask.
I've seen that before.
Hanging dong.
Why did he come to the pub with you and your friends with his dick out?
He was wearing nothing. He was like still in character, like Austin Butler as Elvis. He was he was there.
That's very good.